Well, g'day. This is Iron Horse here. I am not incognito because, although I'm wearing my hat, I'm not wearing the light on my glasses. And it made me think, if I'm not incognito, does that mean I'm out cognito or cognito? Which I guess is Spanish sounding for cognitive, recognitive. So if you can recognize me, then I'm out cognito. Right, glad we got that settled. Another plug. It's fucking Monday night, 20th of March. I got all this beer bottle. Nobody to talk to but myself. So this is sometimes where I've come up with some half decent ramblings in the past, and I just brought this chair in here, and that's the second one I've bottled tonight. So I'm making progress. I've only got about 6,542 litres to bottle. Okay. 58. But you know what I mean, eh? It feels like 6,000 and change because it takes forever. And I left it to the last minute, as you do, because why wouldn't you leave everything to the last minute if you're going to do it? That's the problem. This actually works faster using the tap. It's a little bit more complicated to use two hands, but it fills the bottle to be a lot quicker, which I am impressed by, because I just spent the last 10 minutes swearing, saying the F word a lot, and I thought basically I'd become engrossed in saying the F word a lot, vocalising it out loud, and this and that and that and that and everything else, and I was not happy because I'd lost the little plastic bits that go at the bottom of the beer pourer, make it sort of work so that as I push the bottle up, it just starts pouring through, and then as I drop the bottle away, it will stop pouring through, and it's a very economical time-saving device. And this is only like the third one of them that I've bought after the innumerable number of other spring-loaded ones that I also had. And damn it, I've got this, like, have a look. It's like it's just a tap. You just turn it on and off. And even though it involves using extra mobility skills and stuff, in a way, it's heaps quicker, because that little thingy dingy would be sitting here for like, I would say, at least 3 times longer than that for the bottle to fill. So that's pretty cool, eh? We're going to nail this before bedtime. We're going to nail it before bedtime anyway, because we have to. We've got a house inspection coming up in a few days, and it's probably best not to be brewing beer in your bathroom. Although if there's time, I'm going to start up a new one tomorrow night anyway. So if they do see it, they'll see it bubbling away in there. The guy home brews, it's pretty economical of him. Since I just disposed of about 10 cartons of empty bottles yesterday in the recycling centre to get a few shekels to pay for my food at the supermarket. I even pulled them all out of the recycle bin because the recycle bin's actually goes out the night after tomorrow night. So Wednesday night it goes out, which is also the day of inspection. It's probably not a great look to have your recycle bin chock-a-block full of bottles. So I emptied it yesterday and took them off. They're worth 10 cents a pop, which is sweet fuck all. It's barely worth your time feeding them through the recycle machine just to get what you can out of it, but I've got about $10 or whatever. That's the trouble with this, because it's not actually designed for this system. But just jam it in every so often, it'll be right. So today's topic, in case you didn't know, because I hadn't thought of one, so we'll just have to make one up on the spot. So it can be about the economy, because in case you didn't notice, I'm actually a very savvy economist. I mean, I just made $10 out of garbage yesterday. Holy crap, we've done a carton already. I feel like that's success. If I had a market pen here, I'd mark them and put today's date on, which is 20th of March. And I'd write on the lid as well, but ain't nobody got time for that. So we just bear with me. Not that kind of bear, you idiot. Then we have to put in the fridge. Put them in and voila. Around the road, from misery to happiness and aid. There's a sample of the stuff I took out earlier, but as you can see, it's cloudy because I took it out after I'd stirred in the sugar syrup. See, hey, up here for thinking. Rather than have to put a little drop of sugar in every bottle, what you do is you put a cup of sugar into this, mix it with hot water, stir and dissolve it, and when you're ready to bottle, which I did, you open up the lid very quickly, you pour it in and mix it in, and that stirs up all the sediment and shit on the bottom. So you have to wait and let it settle a little bit before you can bottle it. But what you also do while you've got it all stirred up is you just take a little into your beaker, just so you can see what you got. And what you got there is pure mud. And it tastes like it too. So therefore, you know you're on this. It's got a bad taste. It's a manky bad taste. Whatever. We'll just bottle it anyway. What the fuck? Live once, die young, leave a good looking corpse. That's my nobody ever said to me. But I read it somewhere once, so that's good enough. Man, that's shit. If this is still manky, there's no point in staying up all night bottling it, is there? Oh yeah, fresh taste. Doesn't look as muddy now. No, it's good. Pure. It's fine. Uh-oh. There's the fucking porter again. As you can see, I'll show you in a sec. That's what we've got to do. Didn't actually fall off in the bottle. I actually had to grind it off with a grinder. So it's still actually got a little bit of burnt look to it, but I've sanitised it heaps with scalding hot water. Boiling water, in fact. It's all sanitised, it's all good. Sometimes you can have too much sanity. Yeah, you can quote Iron Horse on that. Sometimes you can have too much sanitisation, is what I mean to say. Is that they've been making beer since the frickin', at least since the days of the Egyptians who built the pyramids. And do you think they sanitised the shit out of everything? They would have been drinking it straight out of the drum, man. Like, and you can do that. It's just that when you bottle it, it becomes more of a refined product, like the one that my sponsor, Cooper's Sparkling Ale, who are sending me a pallet load of cartons of Cooper's Sparkling Ale as we speak. Right, Coopers? Where's my palate? Is that it's more palatable. Where's my palate? If you bottle it into a sterile bottle and bottle ferment it, it gives you that lovely little tingly fuzz as you're drinking it, like such. It's delightful. If that was flat, you'd go, what's that shit? Or if it's warm. That's why we do the bottling process. And that's why we added that extra sugar, because that extra sugar now that's just freshly added will be fermented sufficiently by the existing yeast that hasn't already died off by already fermenting the existing sugars that it's fermented, because most of it has died off, but there's still enough in there that fermentation process will create the carbonation, which gives the tingly little bubbles in your mouth, which is what beer is all about. And things like sparkling wine, for that matter too, like the one famous from the Champagne region of France, Champagne. Oh my gosh, I'm so posh. So yeah, we can't call it champagne anymore. We have to call it sparkling wine or sparkling. Can you say Chardonnay? I don't know. Fuck. It's wonder we can even call it beer. It's one of the Germans things. Hey, that come from fucking beerland, man. You can't call your beer anymore. You have to call it sparkling fermented wheat juice or something. I've got to get myself a proper. I reckon if I melted the plastic and jammed it in, it could fuse to the metal and then it won't fall out again. But I'm not an engineer, I'm a brewer. bottler. You bloody bottler, mate. I can't believe I'm flying through this. That's like 1.5 cartons already. You know how much I've saved already? That's $100. It's about $60 a carton, or in fact, if you buy it in the long necks, it's actually more like $70 AU, Aussie dollars. And so half a carton would be $35 if they sold it for that price, but it's actually more because by the individual bottle they charge about $8 a bottle. So 24 times 8, 4 8s are 32, 2 8s are 16, plus 3 is 9. It's like a fair bit. It's 12, isn't it? 12 8s are 72. 12 8s are 72. So they actually charge more than $8 a bottle. It's just crazy, man. Like, fuck. That's right. Sometimes you can get one special 3 for $21, so they're $7 each. And 12 sevens are what again? 84? Fuck me dead. You knew your times tables would come in goodliness again someday, didn't you, mate? So half of 72 is 36. So, wait, you get the cap out after the bottle. I can't math and bottle beer at the same time. It's like trying to walk and believe you live on a... there's one of them yucky old bottles. Ew, it's a 4X bottle. I think I have to chuck that in the bin, man. Have you seen them? They're 4X bottles. They got like this cane toad character. That means that they're yuck. They're contaminated. They're shit bottles. You can only use them for like 10 times and then they're shit. Not like the Cooper's bottles. You can use them again and again and again until the end of time. So here's one I prepared earlier. Oh fuck, hang on. So here's one I prepared earlier. Ba-boom! I felt the drone music, my bad. The video wouldn't be the same without the dramatic music. Anyway, let's just bottle some beer and be done with the shenanigans, hey? Because ain't nobody got time for that. Boom, boom, man. One more to go, and that's like $140. Oh. That'll be right. I need to go and grind some plastic off it and make it super hot and melty, so next time when I put it in there it'll stay there. But then I might have melty plastic essence in my next beer, and that would be uncouth. Alrighty, fuck yeah. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. That's 2. Oh! Bloody water. accidentally full carton. Ah. Alright. I got this. Don't worry, man. It's all good. It's all under control. You know, when I was a kid, yeah, that's right, I was once young. I used to be able to burp the alphabet. And I bet you think, oh, come on, you can't burp the alphabet. And right, I couldn't burp the alphabet, I'm exaggerating. But I could go, I get to G and then start choking and run out of stomach air. Because I could probably still do it, you know. Do you want to see me do it? No, you don't. But I could also do that. As long as I wanted to. And then when I really took a deep breath, I go, and take in like a massive one. I haven't done it for a long time. As I said, I used to do it as a kid, and I could speak while I burp. And people would naturally think, oh, you're faking it. No, it was fair dinkum, mate. Yeah. I obviously couldn't do the whole alphabet because you have to take a breath eventually. Took a leak in the bucket. But you know, when you're like fucking 9 or 10 and you're impressing the chicks, man, nothing impresses the chicks more than being able to talk while you burp. Trust me, mate, I was the chick master. Yeah, I was a fucking idiot. But hey, it's good to have talents. And being able to talk while you burp, mate, that was mine. I had that. Nobody else had that. Somewhere we go, hey, and that was about it. I can get to G man. Who would have known in the future? Oh, you're the G man. You're that dude who could burp and talk at the same time. Get all the way to G and nearly get to H, you know. I'm sure there's somebody out there now, you know, like someone Asian or whatever, because, man, if something can be done, then you can guarantee there was some Asian who will come along and do it better. Guaranteed. Mozart, no worries. Oh, he's an Asian who can play Mozart better than Mozart can play it radio. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not at all racist. I mean, I love Asian people. My wife is Asian, I guess. We're not married, and she's more Filipina, Filipina. Now there's one for you that I bet you haven't heard before, and you say, I learnt that from Iron Horse. Is that when a guy is attracted to a Filipina lady, most people would say, oh, you're marrying a Filipino? See, like the people that speak Spanish will get that. They'll say, huh? You're marrying a guy? See, she caught me out on this too back in the day when I said, you know, I've always been particularly attracted to Latinos, and she laughed at me, and I said, what? And it was like, a Latino is masculine for a Latin dude. Latina is the feminine. So if you're attracted to Latinas, then you're attracted to Spanish descended women. If you're attracted to Latinos, then you're of the Rainbow Brigade. I think that's the politically correct way to put it these days. You can't call them a flaming bunch of sticks or anything like that anymore. You have to say single sex oriented. So yeah, I learned a lesson then, didn't I? I always thought I was attracted to Latino women, but no. Latino women have a dingle dangle. If you're attracted to Latinas, then you know what a hot smoking woman is all about. In fact, one of the first things about my woman that just blew my mind when I first heard her talking, she sounded almost exactly like accent and tone wise, I think, like Salma Hayek, that Mexicano Latina. Salma Hayek to me back when I was in the teens, mate, she was one of the hottest actresses in my mind. Don't tell me I got another fucking cane toad. Another fucking cane toad, man. Now I've got an uneven number of bottles because I only had... No, I had 2 extra. I've got the right number of bottles. That one's going in the recycle bin. It's no good anymore. See, what you want is Cooper's ones. Cooper's ones with the Coopers on them especially. Some of them have the Arm & Hammer, the older ones. They're okay. They're almost on the level with the cane toads, but yeah. You gotta go for quality, not quantity. So where was I? About Salma. Yeah, I used to like watching movies with her because she's just so good lookable. So good lookable. I think I just invented another word. So good lookable. In fact, one of my favourite movies, let's talk about movies because we've got all else to talk about, is Dogma. Because she was in it. And she was the muse, as you would expect, although Linda Fiorentino was also quite a muse to me back then. But when I heard my lady speaking, my wife, my Filipina, my Latina, Resty Labis. Oh gosh, I love her so much. When I heard her first talking, she sounded just like Salma Hayek. Hey baby. Oh, come here. That's how you manifest the bottle out of thin air, covered in dust and stuff. It's alright, I've been sanitising them for days and days under stinking hot water, so they're sterile on the inside. Man, can you believe how fast I'm pumping out these? That's 3 cartons already. At $75 per carton, that's more than $215. I think I deserve a beer for that. Half an hour. That's not bad. Half an hour. I think I've got maybe 15 more minutes. Oh gosh, jeez, bugger. In there. Good. Right. So here we'll bring the empty box over. And how are we going to do this? I think we're just going to have to manifest them one at a time out of the thin blue yonder. Just like that. There we go. I hope I didn't embarrass myself too much when I had my back to the camera. And if I did, do I look embarrassed? Not really. Maybe a little bit. No, not even a little bit. Rightio. So, what have we got? 24 plus 24 is 48, plus 24 is 72. 73 bottles of beer on the wall, 73 bottles of beer. Put one in the box and grab another one and fill it up and make 74. How about that one? Yeah, that one wants to come. Now I bet you've got that song stuck in your head. All 3 seconds gone. 3, 2, 1. It's gone. Let's sing another song. How many roads must a man walk down before he can have 74 bottles of beer in the box? Yes, 74. Right, let's do 75. Not that we're counting, because if you count, it's like, no, it's not like cheating, it's actually just counting, isn't it? I'm going to have to come up with some new catchphrases, I think. Oh, that's my first one. Out of all the ones I've done, that's the first one that's actually overflowed slightly. Which, as you can probably see, it's going to leave like just that little bit of residue on the lips. And when I put the cap on it, like that, and smash it in with the capper, there's always going to be that little bit there. And so this one's always going to have that tiny little bit of contamination in it. And that just adds to the flavour when you go to do it. Yeah, baby, gotcha. So, it's not a bad thing to be a little bit unclean, if you know what I mean. Get a little bit of dirt into your life. Dirt and germs and stuff are not bad. They're there to make you healthy and well. Without a battle, there's no fight. Without a fight, you grow weak. When you grow weak, you get overtaken by something stronger. It's just nature's way. Nature abhors a vacuum, but it also abhors a weakness. So you have to be at the top of your game. I think that's my latest quote. Whatever it was I said just then, it was good. Go back, record it, write it down, quote me on it, because I think maybe I said something influential. Oh, See what happens when you're busy bragging and you go into your second overflow for the evening. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm impressed with that, because ordinarily when I'm using the thing that you have to push the bottle up, it takes so long that I get so distracted that by the time it fills, I'm already distracted, and I get overflows all the time. So the fact I've only done 2 so far tells me I'm get back in there. Get back in there. Tells me I'm only at 2 overflows so far. That nothing more. How did I lose track of the topic talking about Latinas? Gosh damn it. Anyway, my Latina, Resty, you know I love you, baby. You know I love you more than anything. And I'm sorry I don't talk about you more in my stupid YouTube rants, but hey, some things are better left, unsaid. What we have together, baby, is magic. It is special. It is unique. And we haven't even physically been in each other's presence now for 11 years. Almost 11 years. And the thing is, we are more in love now than we've ever been. You think about that. You try and fall in love with somebody and not physically be with them, and go for more than a decade. You know what it does? Spiders. Spiders, mate. It gives you spiders. It ignites something within you that you can't express in words. It's a feeling of wanting and needing so badly that you can't have. But you know what? You carry on anyway, as though at any minute you can be in each other's arms. Any minute. For 10 fucking years. 11. It makes you love like you can't imagine. I mean, you could be with somebody and after that amount of time, you just can't wait to divorce them. It is human nature, it's how it is. But when you can not be with somebody and want to be with them, that love grows so strong, so strong. Man, I know she loves me as much as I love her. I know it. We both know it. We tell each other daily just how much we deserve to be with one another. And the fact we can't makes that love even stronger every single day. You got no idea. A child has gone from a baby to starting to almost reach puberty in that amount of time. I know, I've had 3 children of my own and I love them. Every last minute of them. Although, I will have to admit, my first child was an absolute angel. Jessica was the best. She was great. Very strong-willed. Very strong-willed. Didn't talk much, didn't need to, because while the mother went off to work in the nursing homes through the daytime, I'd already finished my job cleaning pubs in the morning. So basically, I was the dad, I was the babysitter. I looked after her all through the days. For the first 2 years of her life. And because she's a Thatcher, we're mind readers. We don't actually need words to talk. I know it sounds a bit strange, but it's true. Me and my dad used to do it all the time. Neither of us ever admitted to it, of course. That would be weird. Come out again. Let's do about it. Yeah, I mean, you don't talk about these things because you don't have to talk about these things. When you read minds, you just communicate telepathically and nothing needs to be said. So Jessica, as a baby, she barely spoke a word. And by the time we bought the business that we got into, the ex and I, we bought a closing down pet store and built it up into an awesome, great business. But it was basically on the same day that Jessie turned, or Jess, I should say. We call her Jess. She turned 2. And within a week, from a kid that barely spoke, didn't need to speak, she's now with a bunch of other kids and other adults and stuff on a daily basis. 1 week, and she was just talking in full sentences. Like she'd always been able to do it. She just had no need to, because her and I understood each other. So I know you're watching this, Jess. I know you see my videos. So. Love you with all my heart, my daughter. And my other daughter, Jenny. And as I was going to say, Jack, my awesome son, in between the two of them, all born within about 3 years, less than 4. He's great, but as a baby, he was not so cool, you know. With Jess, you know, if she started crying, he'd give her a bit of a, you know, cuddle and rock back and forwards and put her down. She'd sleep or she'd just chill and be fine. But unfortunately with Jack, he didn't do that when he was a baby. He would just cry, and unfortunately I could do nothing. So I'd just have to leave him sitting in his cot and let him cry it out till he's exhausted. And that reminds me, they did the same thing to me when I was a child, so no doubt it's genetic. Because I've got a pretty good memory. I can remember a lot of things when I was a baby. And I wasn't happy that I was often left to just cry it out like I did to my own son. So I'm sorry about that, Jack. I really am sorry about that, because I didn't know what else to do. You've been fed, your nappy's dry. The best way we could satiate him was actually to put him in the baby car seat and go for a drive. In fact, that just reminded me the other day, because the car's now due for rego, and the one time when I did do that, you're only about a year and a bit old, and happily sleeping in the car, fully air conditioned, it's all good. We get to the motor registry where I've got to go in and stand in line and spend ages in there. And it would have been absolutely cruel of me to wake you up, pick you out of the car seat, and take you in with me. So I didn't. I wound the windows down a little bit. The car's nice and air conditioned, sitting in the car park as it should, doing all the right stuff. And then when I'm standing in line, a Karen, we didn't even know they were called Karens back then, but a Karen walks in and she starts having a go because apparently where I'd parked, my number plate was like this far from her number plate because I'm in a station wagon. And that's too close in a car park which has a line this thick anyway. It's like, what the fuck, man? We haven't bumped. There's no problem. Just walk around. Go around your car. But anyway, she comes into the Department of Motor Registry, as it was called back then, and has a big whinge in front of everybody. Whoever's got this car bloody number plate, blah, 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 they've left their child, they've abandoned it in the car park. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, lady. Yeah, that's me. I've left my son happily sleeping in a cooled, air-conditioned car, windows down. He's not in stress whatsoever. And so I had to get out of line, go out, grab my boy, bring him in on my hip, and he's just there. He wasn't crying, but he was obviously upset at being woken up because he's in a really nice deep sleep, you know what I mean? Karens, man. That was the beginning of the era of Karens, because it comes out on the media, you can't leave your child in the car. Well, when I was a bloody kid, mate, I got left in the frickin' car and nearly baked like a potato in a fucking jacket that many times by my father. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, that many times. You should remember that too, because that was wrong. Because I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't a baby, there was no air conditioning, it was fucking hot as shit. We lived out west in Bathurst, where it gets fucking hot, and we'd get left in the car for an hour at a time. That was wrong. What I did wasn't wrong. Did the right thing. I got my son to sleep, he's in a nice cool environment, and a fucking Karen comes and makes me take him out. And then when I get in there, even the staff could see, oh, poor guy, had to wake him up. He was a great kid, don't get me wrong. Jack was a fucking awesome child, apart from the fact he had some sleeping difficulties when he was young. So, Jenny, on the other hand, man, what can I say about her? I would have a million Jennies. She is the fucking bomb. She didn't, when you put a fresh nappy on her, she didn't stand up and rip it off and go and squat in the middle of the lounge room like Jess did. No, Jenny would just be like, put a nappy on. She was the best. She was so cruisy. She was practically born in the pet store. And I love this story, so I'm going to finish on this note because I've got things to do. I've got to tell this story because Jenny was the fucking best. My little angel. When we had the pet store, right, 7 years is a long time when you've got 3 kids under 3, the youngest practically born in the pet store before you moved it out to the industrial estate and expanded even bigger. We would always this is one thing that we made a point of doing. Nobody made us. We didn't have to. We could have left them in the store every night if we wanted to. It would have just been a bit more extra cleaning in the morning, but we made a point of every night bringing home every puppy and kitten that we had in the store into a house. And we had 8 cats. Way too many. Another story for another day. We had 8 dogs. That was cool. And 3 of them were Chihuahuas. One was a Silky Terrier. One was a Maltese Terrier. So they were mostly small dogs. Fred was the big guy. So we had that, and so we'd bring the puppies home every night, and they could run amok with our dogs, and everything was great. Best years of my life, man. All those puppies, all that puppy energy. And the kittens, they'd come home and they'd stay inside, of course, because you can't let cats outdoors. And so we just let them sort of run amok through the house. Anyway, one particular time we had some ginger kittens, and I don't know if you know anything about gingers, but they can be a little bit more boisterous than others, and mark my words, worm those kittens. Worm them. Treat them for worms, because you get them kittens and they're like little balls of claws and shit. They're all stressed. As soon as you worm them the next day, they're like cute little sweet cuddly things, because they're obviously in a lot of intestinal pain from the worms. And so we did. We always wormed and fully treated and vaccinated, all that sort of stuff. Yes, I did vaccinate animals back then, but I never ever did for my adult animals. Just gave them the first few initial ones as puppies or kittens. Anyway, so we had this one particular ginger kitten. We had 3 kittens at the time. I think they were all siblings. Pretty sure they were, but only 2 were ginger. One of them was pretty calm and cool for a 6-week-old cat, kitten, little baby. With this other one, it was just a ball of energy, and it would just be climbing the curtains, nothing up there, climbing my legs, climbing everything. So I'd just be packing it off, because this was just when the internet was really new, and I got sort of hooked into the internet because I loved it. Fucking being able to talk, type, write. I am a writer. So, I've never been a speaker until recent years. Anyway, so I'm there typing away on chat site 9MSN, it was called back then, before it got deleted after 9/11. So that's how far back this goes. And this little kitten, it kept climbing me a few too many times, and so I thought, because when their little claws dig in through your pants, they hurt a little bit, like a tree climber wearing spikes into the tree. After a while, the tree's going to say, that hurts, and chuck the tree climber off. Well, that was me with the kitten. And so eventually, after about the 10th time of it climbing my legs, right, our little kitten, because you can pick them up by the scruff of the neck. That actually calms them down, because that's how their mothers carry them. I said, right, time for you to have some time out. And so over to the cat carrier that they come home in, put him in there, shut the door, went back to do my thing. And you can hear him, he's carrying on like little kittens do, you know what I mean? And next thing, I look up, and here's little Jenny in a cute little one-piece onesie pajamas that her mumu, her mother's mother, used to make for them. She made some really cool stuff for the kids, don't get me wrong. I might say some not the nicest things ever about her otherwise, but she made some really great stuff for the grandchildren. And so here's little Jenny, she comes out, she opens up the door, she gives the kitten a little pat and says it's okay, and then lets it go again. So next thing it's up and climbing the curtains, and Jenny just goes back to bed. And I'm talking like 1 a.m, or maybe nearly even 2 a.m. sometime in the middle of the night, and I'm just about to go and get some shut-eye myself. When I see her in the morning, I'd say, do you remember what you did last night, Jenny? And she had no recollection whatsoever. Her instincts, because she heard a little animal in distress, she just automatically got up, went, saved it, let it free, went back to bed, had no recollection whatsoever. And that's my little girl. I love all my children. And I love my Resty. And with that, good night and thanks for watching.